So how long have you been fighting or doing MMA?
Yeah, man. So I started at 10 years old. I'm 28 now, so good 18 years. Good
Yeah.
18 years of this game, this sport, working on my body.
Yeah. And what got you into it?
Just being a fan of it, man. I had an older brother who would always have barbecues, always have people over, and nice carne asada. And I just remember being a little kid and watching people watch the fight, and like there'd be all this chatter, right? People are talking, people are excited, people are just talking about whatever.
Yeah.
But as like the main fight happens and the big fight happens, and like I just loved the anticipation of it all. I could hear the voices get quieter. I could hear the people lean in a little more. I could see people be more engaged in it. And then it'd be just like, it just felt like waiting for something to happen, right? The calm before the storm. And then a big knockout happens, a big submission happens, and the place just erupts. And I just remember being in love with that feeling as a little kid.
Yeah.
And I wanted to replicate that. And I just loved it, man. Like, it was always a way for me to connect with people too. You know, I was pretty quiet as a kid, pretty timid as a kid. So martial arts to me was always a good way to connect and understand people and have people feel like they could understand me more.
And what was the art you started out with?
Yeah, so back in the day, it was interesting because, you know, usually you would think about starting with one thing and then it leads to the next thing.
Yeah.
I felt lucky enough to find an MMA gym in my hometown. I'm from Yuma, Arizona.
Yeah.
We had a guy, Chance Farrar, who really brought MMA to the scene. He fought Uriah Faber in the WC, which to us was like a huge deal. This guy fought for a world title.
Yeah.
So that was a really big deal for us. So I started in MMA. It was mainly jiu-jitsu, kickboxing. And then around 7th grade, I started wrestling. And once I started wrestling, I was like, I have to focus on this because I can see that it's like I can look at the trends. I can see that it's dominating the game.
Yeah.
So it's something that I got to hyper focus on for the next 6 years. So for 6 years, I just focused on wrestling.
Yeah. And you wrestled in high school?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did you rank at all?
No, I was terrible. With boxing and jiu-jitsu, man, I felt it was like it came naturally to me. It was a rhythm that I understood, and I felt, you know, pretty precocious for that aspect of fighting. Yeah. And then once I started wrestling, I was like, dude, I've been doing this, like in my head, like I've been doing this and I'm terrible. Like I can't figure it out. The rhythm of this doesn't make any sense to me. I'm flopping to my back, like I'm looking like a fool.
Yeah.
So it was such a long learning. It was just such a big learning curve for me.
Yeah.
But I love wrestling. Wrestling means so much to me. It's one of my favorite things to practice.
Yeah, me and my brother wrestled for a long time.
Did you guys?
Yeah, I wrestled throughout high school.
What got you guys in it?
We're Middle Eastern. We're from Iran, so we're from Iran. So wrestling's big there, but like we were like ESL, and we didn't really speak English. And
you don't need to speak much with wrestling or martial arts.
You know, and I was like, all right, I got to try a sport. I was kind of a big, chunky kid, so I was like, all right, I got to, you know.
Extra emphasis on chunky.
Yeah. Extra emphasis on that. Huh?
Yeah, so I was like, I got to do some sport. I was like, soccer wasn't my thing, but like wrestling just found a passion.
Did you love it? What did you find it did for you?
I loved it. I you know, and I want to get my kids into it too.
Yeah.
It's,
man, I think wrestling is so transformational.
Yeah, I know. Discipline and just life lessons like throughout the whole thing. It's like.
So you wrestled starting out? Okay.
No, he started MMA and then but he did wrestling.
I started MMA at 10, and then once middle school rolled around, just hyper focused on wrestling for a good 6 years.
Was that still in Yuma? Or
yeah, Yuma.
Okay. How old were you when you like moved out to Phoenix?
I moved out here at 18. 18? Yeah. I was supposed to start community college. You know, you guys are immigrants, so that immigrant dream of like you go to college, you know, this is why we came here for. It was really heavily instilled, and it was a thing that I understood and I respected from my parents' side, from my mom's perspective. I was like, all right, I'll give her that. And about like a week or two before classes were supposed to start, I was like, I can't do it. Like, I just can't. Like, in my perception at that time, I was like, she brought me here to dream, and my dream isn't this. My dream is fighting. My dream is to be the best in the world at fighting. And I believe I can make that happen.
Just a couple of your fights. Definitely is your dream.
Yeah.
So good you pursued that.
So I pursued that. I'm grateful for it. But yeah. So I moved out here at 18.
When was your last fight?
March 14th.
Do you have a scheduled fight coming up?
I just got one, yeah. So this was my first hard week of training since I got it. I got the news Friday. I'm fighting October. I keep saying October. I'm fighting July 18th in Oklahoma City.
Okay.
Against a guy named Austin Bashi, who's going to look to wrestle. He's going to look to grapple. But yeah, man, I'm in the midst of it, man. I just had a grindy day.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it now. But man, I feel so grateful for it. Like it's the best feeling to know that you have something to strive for, something to push for, you know?
What's your favorite part of the fighting? Like which aspect of it? Because if you grew up a wrestler, if I've watched a few of your fights since meeting you, and you're definitely strike first, like on your feet. I wouldn't guess you grew up wrestling, but it makes sense. You started out with MMA, but like, I don't know, what's your favorite aspect of it? Other than knocking somebody's teeth out.
Yeah, the glitz and glamour of what I do is really fun and really, you know, sick. Like for lack of a better word, is just sick. But I love today. I love a Tuesday. Tuesdays are our hardest day at the gym. It's the grimiest, it's the grindiest, it's the most dig into the depth of your soul type of day. And I love those days. And we talked about it a little bit right now about what wrestling is, but what fighting is like, to me, it's so transformational. It's so unveiling. You find out so much about yourself through it, going through it. So I love the grind of it within everything, within the striking, within the boxing, within the jiu-jitsu, within the wrestling. Love it all. But the grind of it is what I'd say.
Gotcha. Your ears have gotten worse since I've last seen you.
They were pretty bad back then too.
You can tell how successful you are. Like growing up wrestling, like if anybody like talked crap to me at a bar or something, I'd first take a look at their ears. I'm like,
my lady just sent me a thing.
That's not somebody I'm gonna mess with.
Yeah, my lady just sent me a thing on Instagram of like, you guys hear about the looks maxing trend and all that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We like so a version of that is like guys like trying to get cauliflower ears.
Yeah.
And she's on the comments like, oh, that's you. I'm like,
I'm not trying to get this. I deal with it. But when you're ready to get
it.
that fixed, you let me know. You got a man inside.
Nah, I'm not getting it fixed, man.
That's after retirement. It's not.
I wouldn't even say to do it either.
For what?
It's a kick in the butt.
Yeah.
But
I bet.
What else did you guys get into? Sorry.
Nothing much. We just started.
Upbringing.
Yeah. We're just talking about how you started and stuff. That's it.
For your training and stuff, like whether do you have like nutritionists or like athletic trainers, and is that something like? Because I know UFC is different than boxing. Because boxing, you get contracted fights and you have your own gym and your own setup. But I know UFC has contracts because you're stuck with UFC rather than being like WBC, WBA, whatever it is.
Yeah, so prior to the UFC, not really. It was a lot of YouTube. It was a lot of, Google. It was a lot of Jack in the Box tacos, and hope. There was a lot of hope prior to the UFC. Once I got into the UFC, man, I've been really... I learned as much as I could about the resources that they provide, and they provide a good amount. And I just went all in. So with that comes the nutritionist. That comes a good just knowledge. Like they're on the cutting edge of what it takes to be, and it's super specific to fighting, which is cool. Like it's cool that there's actually science-backed trends that we can follow and do. And they just provide a lot of information in terms of that. They run my nutrition. PTs, I'll work with Al over here. He's a local guy. He's one of the best in the game. He's a physical therapist.
Does he run his own shop?
Yeah, it's Aries Physical Therapy.
Okay.
They're the best. They're taking care of me on a couple of things. Every time I have something, I go to them. But, yeah.
How many hours a day do you train usually? 5
to 6.
Do you watch a lot of film or?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I love film. I love watching just a pure fight. Yeah. And with that one, I'm not even looking to really take too much notes. I'm just kind of trying to get some mirror neurons firing. Like I just want to see it. Yeah. And then I like watching breakdowns. Like I got a lot of like guys that are super nerdy about the game. They'll pinpoint one position. They'll talk for 40 minutes on it, and I just can't get enough of that. I love it. Yeah. And then I will watch with my team, or I'll get my team. Like especially if I have a fight, I got a group of guys that I'll go to, guys that I really respect their opinion on, and I'll be like, you give me your notes? Can you give me your thoughts? And then I'll watch it with a couple of my coaches as well. So there's a lot of film studying involved in this.
Yeah.
you nervous going into the fights? You seem like, again, the fights I've watched, especially like recently, you seem like really calm, collected, and like, because you know, like when we were wrestling, like even if it's like an easier match, like just stepping out the mat, like nerves were firing.
Yeah, man. I feel really. I was talking to your brother about the fact that I was a terrible wrestler. Like I was really good at jiu-jitsu, boxing, kickboxing. Like it came pretty natural to me. Wrestling, it was just I just was so stubborn-headed and I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't find the rhythm of it. And then especially in competition, once I started to find my groove in wrestling in the room, I was like, oh man, I found my pathways. I feel really good in here. And then it came down to the competition and I felt like I could never perform for years. I just felt like I could never perform to the standard that I held in the room. And it took a lot, and it was that way throughout my entire wrestling career. And it was a lot of, once I decided to focus fully back on fighting, just kind of reverse engineering, like where did I make those mistakes? What was it? And it's like a lot of it's just belief, like limiting belief, and just investing in that, man. And just, it's tough too, because like that puts a chip on your shoulder, and that chip on your shoulder fuels you. And with that, you know, the work comes in. Nowadays though, when I go into a fight, it's funny, I got a buddy who's making his debut in Mexico, I think this week actually. I was talking to him about my first fight. I was so nervous. Like I walked in, I saw the lights, and I was just staring, and then the ref slaps his hand and he says go, and I'm like just enthralled by the entire, it was just such a sensory overload, so much nerves going into it. And that was a tough experience. And I was like, I can't have that. Like, I got to figure this out. So journaling became a big staple from that point on. And just kind of writing down my thoughts, my feelings, my this or that, whatever it was on that particular day. I found that to be super beneficial.
So you journal?
Yeah, I journal quite a bit. And nowadays going into, this is kind of weird. I don't know how much I like talking about all this.
Oh, no, I was just curious. Honestly, this part is just like about... Same reason I was just like, oh, he'd be a phenomenal guest, because like it's stuff I personally want to know. You know, it's like how people get through it, and like I know there's so many times, whether it was a wrestling match or like presenting at a international conference, my nerves are just going bonkers, but I have to like, okay, compose, and then once I get going, I'm like, okay, the nerves die down. You get into that like flow rhythm, and things just happen for better or worse. And then you just like analyze it afterwards and then see what you could have done differently leading up.
Yeah, so my approach nowadays is I want to evoke those feelings. I know those feelings are going to come. It's the nature of competition. It's the nature of striving to be the best version of yourself. And it's what you have such a platform to do that in, right? So the nerves are going to come, and I want to evoke those early, because I like feeling free when I fight. I like feeling free when I walk in. When I walk into that cage, when I'm on the walk, you know, that's the most liberated I can ever feel as a human being. It truly is. So I evoke those feelings, and I like them. I want those feelings to come. I want those butterflies. And it's just what you tell. It's like before that was a limiting belief, right? Like, oh my God, this nerves, and then you just get encapsulated by it. You just get engrossed by the nerves, and it just becomes overwhelming. Nowadays, it's like, no, like this is a wave of energy and I'm going to ride it. These are butterflies that I will put in formation. I will grow from this. And I feel that like it's physical, but it's more so than that, it's spiritual. Like I genuinely believe like I grow when the nerves come.
Yeah, it makes sense also. And you're probably, not to put words in your mouth, but you're like found a way to kind of get that feeling a little bit earlier. Because it's better to get those like butterflies in your stomach on your walk up to the ring than after you get punched the first time.
Yeah, I evoke those feelings early in the day, like 2, 3 p.m. I'll be at a coffee shop. If you see me, man, I look like a chihuahua. I'm shaking. Like I promise you, like I truly do.
Barking at everybody?
Not barking, but you know, the shaking, you know? Damn, there's a fighter that barks at people too.
Yeah, there's a few.
There's a few, but there's one guy in particular. He's in my weight class too. It's funny.
Oh, okay.
What weight did you wrestle in high school?
My last year I wrestled at 152. The years prior.
Tough weight class.
Yeah, 45, 36, 26.
He was bigger than you.
Yeah, I was 103, 112, and then senior year I was 140.
Yeah.
Then in college it was like 65, 74, 85.
Where'd you go to college?
Rhode Island College. It was a D3 school. It wasn't
sick.
highly competitive. And I didn't really try hard.
No.
I regret afterwards because like it really hit me my last year of wrestling. I was like, oh man, like this isn't like something I get to pursue, like do all the time. And I just like kind of like took it for granted. And I wasn't a great wrestler because I was just like, I didn't stick to the basics. And it's something I learned like when I was just playing rec basketball. Somebody's like, you're trying to shoot like 3-pointers, like 3 feet beyond the mark, and you can't shoot a layup. Like, what are you doing? You like, if the thing's open, go in, get your 2 points, and you're over here throwing this like, again, high risk, high reward thing. So like my move was the spladle. So that kind of, the laugh says it all. Like, it's just like, okay, leave my leg hung out a certain way for this guy to shoot in with his head on the inside, and then try to get him on his back. And the funny part is, a couple of my teammates told me afterwards, they're like, oh, dude, you need to do jujitsu. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, because most of the time you wrestle, you're on your back. Yeah.
That's funny. That was my early years.
Yeah. So that, I mean, I got really good at it. And I'm like junior or senior, like catching freshmen, people who weren't expecting it. Like it was an easy little turn, but people who are expecting it, I'm like,
can't be a one-trick pony in anything.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, he used to get me in trouble because, like, when UFC was first coming out.
Who's older?
I am. Yeah. When UFC was first coming out, like, they'd have no holds bar matches and at the bars, and like he signed me up, and like we wrestled. So
he wanted to. It's not like
I was a big guy. I was like I wrestled heavyweight.
I didn't force you.
High school. I wasn't. I was like usually under 200 in high school. And
when did you lose all the weight?
A couple times.
Yeah.
A couple times,
like when it was wrestling season, I dropped like 30 pounds. Yeah. But like that totally screwed up my metabolism. So like as I grew older, I just gained weight. And
such a vicious cycle for sure.
Yeah. What's your weigh-in? What's featherweight at?
145.
45? Yeah. Were you off?
About 170.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's not fun, dude.
Yeah.
I know what it's like. And doing it professionally is different than
this kid was always like spitting in cups, like as we're
I was until college I didn't really suck much weight.
I had a harder time in high school with that because it was like a Terry Brands Iowa style like school of thought that we came in and just be tougher, be dirtier, be grimier, like so that's how I did my weight cuts. And I had an 8-pound weight cut, usually 6 to 8 pound weight cut. Obviously wasn't eating super great, but it was just about doing the weight cut in the most grindy, dirty, just running sweats, plastics.
And it's the time where you're growing the most too.
Yeah, it's so
going
dumb,
through
man.
Puberty is like,
I would never make my kids go weight.
And Rogan said, Rogan
it's dumb now as an adult, as I do it now.
But he talks about it so much. He's like, it's like they got to just make more weight classes so people aren't like cutting so much.
It doesn't matter. Like, there's still people going to cut weight.
No, I know. They're still going to cut.
Weight classes are made originally to get the same size people against each other.
But the main thing, like they talk about, is like, you dehydrate like your brain, then you can't even think you're in the ring, and you're like,
you weigh in like 24 hours before the fight.
I used to be that way. Now it's around 36.
36. Yeah. Okay. How much weight do you gain after the weigh-ins? Like a good 8 pounds?
What's up?
Well, how much
you got to
gain?
keep within a certain amount, right?
No, you're allowed to get. California is the only commission, the only state that wants that. But even then, there's nothing that they can really do about it. They just won't. Not to say they can't do much, but they won't. If you go, don't quote me on the number, but if you go 20% above your weight class, then they'll ban you for like 6 months or a year from California.
Okay. Yeah, some of the tournaments they would like you can gain more than 2 pounds overnight.
Yeah, those are tough.
Some of the wrestling tournaments,
but there was some like 2-day tournaments where you got to weigh in each day.
Yeah,
that was
those were
brutal.
tough.
Because I remember one of my friends. I'm looking at his face. He was good, and he wasn't like the best wrestler. He was just country strong. Yeah, and it was Luke.
Yeah,
and. Dude, one time we just finished the day of wrestling, and we all stepped on the scale afterwards to know what we need to get for the next morning. And I just look at his face. It was like, I swear his face was just like
that realization.
And I'm like, dude, what's wrong? He's like, I'm like, you're in the quarterfinals. You're doing great. He's like, I got to cut 10 pounds in the next 8 hours.
After you wrestled 4 to 5 matches, after you're already physically spent too.
Yeah, I was just like, what? He was like, yeah. I'm just like, and he made it happen and he did really well. He was never expected to be like a great wrestler, but he punished people. And it's like impressive to see like what he accomplished because it's just like setting out and like, this is what I'm going to do.
We had a guy like that in middle school. He just unfortunately passed away over the weekend. But in middle school, man, this guy lost every single match he ever competed in. And then he went to city and he won it all. And it was just such a cool moment. I just remember that and wanted to give him a shout out to Willie Flowers, man. That was a cool moment.
Yeah. Changing subjects. What's your routine? How many days a week are you in the gym? It's like, which day am I not in the gym?
Yeah, it's 6 days a week. Sunday will be the one day I take fully off.
That's good. God took Sunday off too.
Yeah. We give praise to God on Sundays. It's my schedules vary throughout the year. I'm really happy with my routine. I'm really happy with my day-to-day. It feels super productive. It feels like, there's a motif we live by at our gym at the lab. It's called, we just say 1% better. That's our goal, right? We just want to be 1% better. Yeah. Just that incremental amount. Let it compound for you. But yeah, it's...
Do you change your schedule once fights get scheduled?
Yeah, for sure. The intensity, and it's spiritual, man. It feels like something kind of just takes over you. The intensity of your practice, the intentionality of your practice. And then you also have the opponent in mind, right? Outside of camp, you're allowed to just kind of explore. And I like thinking of it as like mining. I'm just looking for different diamonds, different gems. And I'm just kind of exploring in different pathways. When it comes to the fight, it's like, all right, what are the pathways? Where does this guy find the most confidence? Where does he gain momentum? Where does he look to, what pockets of the fight does he look to win to secure confidence in himself? All right, that's the pathways to shut down. And then from there, I let my game grow. But it becomes a lot more about refinement the closer we get to a fight.
Gotcha. And have you noticed anything change since you signed a UFC contract?
I always say no, but that's such a lie. Like, yeah, so much has changed. It's just
subconscious stuff, or you think?
Good question.
Some of both, some intentional, some subconscious stuff.
Probably, yeah. I probably have to dig a little deeper within to give a better answer.
How much weight training do you do in your training routine?
About right now it's around two, but it's more so the sessions are more like plyo, more, it gets a little different. Outside of camp, it's 2 to 3, and it's more just standard lifting weights, getting strong.
2 to 3 hours a day?
Like 2. Our strength conditioning likes to keep us there 2.
Okay.
Do you do a lot of legs for UFC and stuff, or is it just all over weight training?
Like leg day?
Yeah,
like
leg and
specific
core
workouts?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Our coach is big on the posterior chain and really getting that strong. A lot of our hips. So much of that happens throughout the wrestling. So much of that, we attack legs pretty heavy on Mondays.
I used to do a lot of back. I used to swim a lot because I'm like, we're supposed to work out back, and like looking at these swimmers, they look like freaks because their lats are like ridiculous compared to everything else. So I used to swim a lot, and it's low. Like,
yeah, I got to incorporate that. I swam yesterday and I was like, I like this. It's just fun too. You're just splashing around, but maybe I got to swim actual laps.
No, it doesn't matter. Goofing. I was never able to do the flip. Everybody else that swam as much as I did, or even less than me, they were doing the flips at the end. And I'm like, okay, reach the end, touch it, turn the other way. I'm like, I can't get this flip down. I tried it once and smashed the back of my head. I was like, okay, I'm done with this.
I wanted to go back to that. Making it to the UFC changed anything. I just think it's all belief. Like, once I got there, I was like, oh man, like, I don't know if you were here when I spoke earlier about like, the immigrant dream about like you go and you want to make that happen. But like that was a really big part of my life. Like I disappointed people that I really cared about. So it was like, to me, it was like a sense of like, man, like it was worth it. And I think that was the feeling. That was the sentiment within my community.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. Like you weren't just, screwing around. Like you went and did something. And now I feel like that gave me the freedom to really just, I was already on the path. I was already all in, but just even more to be like, all right, now let's go be the best at this. Let's go be the greatest at this.
Yeah.
We like hit a checkpoint that was really important. Now let's go to the finish line.
That's right. That's right. We want to see you climb up the ranks all the way to the top.
Yeah.
And you getting some big fights. It's just like watching pretty much all your fights since you've been in the UFC. And it's just like, crap. Can we talk about how we met?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So how we met is the nurse that got in touch with me that was like, I have a friend whose brother's a fighter that needs his hand fixed. Mm-hmm. He was like, can you take care of this? And I'm like, yeah. And he's signed on and is actually working at our surgery center now. So like he's been close with us from the beginning. And so like that's how I've stayed in touch. And he sent me a message because your brother sent him a picture when you signed on with Dana White asking you to sign on with the UFC.
Man. He's my biggest hype man. I love
him. Dude, it was so cool. I was just like, because they work together at the hospital.
Yeah.
And I was just like, can you get him in with somebody that can take care of this? And dude, usually like for plastic surgery, for hand surgery, what they call a boxer's fracture is actually when people punch wrong and they break their pinky metacarpal. And that's because they hit with the bottom part of their fist and not the top part of their fist. And what you came in with was these two bones broken. And those are really hard to break with like direct contact. So I was just like, let me see how he did it. Found the videotape on YouTube and I saw you hit that guy in the face. And I was like, holy crap. That was like it knocked him out, right?
It changed the fight. I submitted him.
Okay.
So he was done. I hit him and I hit him in the top of his, he was a country strong boy and I hit him in the top of his skull.
Oh, okay. That's what it was.
But I hit him so hard.
But his head, like if you turn the sound up, you hear the thump.
It was so hard. I knew how hard it was.
His head just went like jerked back like
he
this.
He just slumped. And then I went to finish him and the fight was done. But I got like one. I'm still a little salty about it. I got like one or two that were like slight back of the heads, and the ref pulls me off, takes a point. The guy recovers a little bit. I submitted him like a couple seconds up, but I submitted him, and I had to squeeze over my And as the ref's taking a point, I grabbed my hand, and I'm like, like I just feel it clicking in and out, and I was like, it's gonna suck tomorrow or in a couple hours. But
you can't tell that like if I'm not you, could not tell like that was bothering you at all.
Well, I was like, all right, we're so dumb as fighters. We're so stubborn to it. My immediate thought was like, I have to punch him with this hand just in case, like I have to punch him with this hand so that I don't limit myself.
Yeah.
It's such a dumb thought. Thankfully that punch missed. He shoots in recklessly because he's still wobbled, he's still hurt.
Yeah.
I have to get this choke. This hand is the broken hand. I have to squeeze over it. It hurts so bad.
Oh man.
Thankfully, he tapped a couple seconds later, but that was a sucky moment.
Yeah, Diego's our friend that got us in touch, but he's just like, check this out. And I was just, we watched it no less than 25, 30 times.
Awesome.
Like, holy shit. Like, look at this fucking hit. Yeah. Like, I can't believe this person's like alive. Yeah. That was brutal. How was the recovery from that surgery? How much time did you take off?
Oh man, that was a good while. I want to say I had to take like good 8 to 9 months.
Oh wow.
It was a really long time. It was taking forever. That's where I met Aries. Sorry. So I was ready to fight 6 months and then I had a fight and I was preparing for a fight and then they kept pulling out. So I made my return about 9 to maybe even 11 months later, but I was ready to go at 6.
Okay.
But that was cool. That was my introduction with the Aries team, and they were super helpful. Man, in fighting, you don't make no money, especially as an amateur. You're paying. You're straight up paying. You're losing money every single time. And I was such a broke kid chasing this dream. You go in after a fight, you're like, man. I don't know if you want to speak on this, but I think we had to finagle the system a little to get the hand done.
Yeah. But I forget what your coverage was, but we made it happen.
We made it happen. I'm really grateful for it.
I've had to do some jaws and stuff. So
one surgeon told me early on in my training was like, if you can't take care of your family and friends, how do you expect to take care of like random people out there? He's like, you have a certain set of skills, and it's like you have to make yourself available for certain people. Needless to say, this procedure that he was asking me to do for like his neighbor's like husband is like some type of hemorrhoid surgery. So I'm like, got to do this hemorrhoid at like 1:30 a.m. Run to the ER. And I'm like, but that always stuck with me. So like when things come up, I'm like, I'll make it happen. I'll make sure they get appropriate care.
Yeah, well, truly, man, I am very grateful because that was a low point, and I was like, holy shit, what am I going to do? Like, is this dream dead? Like, it was that the stakes and to me, the stakes are so high.
We got to do the IM screws. They go inside the bone. Because before that, like even in training, I never used them. I only knew it because he was using it. And when I came out, and you put the screws on the inside of the bone to stabilize them enough to heal. Because
you have to yank them out, huh?
What's that?
With the other ones, you have to yank out?
Not necessarily.
No? Okay.
Well, sometimes with the plates and stuff, sometimes you do because like the tendons kind of get caught up.
Yeah, so that's the problem. Like your hand's so like, there's so many little movements that it does.
It's
and
such an
like
instrument.
the tendon sliding and that plate, this screw goes inside the bone so it doesn't touch the tendons or anything.
Sick.
Previously, you put the plates and screws over the bone so your tendons line over there. So like that puts you at a like greater risk for like adhesions, your fingers, hands not functioning as well, or like the tendons adhering to it. So they like build scar tissue and they don't work quite as well. Yeah. So this I had only done it for like a year or two. Unfortunately, we don't do much hand surgery anymore, but it like I really love the procedure. It cuts the time down, cut the complications down.
Yeah, it's seriously like 15 minutes and you're not in a cast or anything. And you're out like just moving your hand right away, which recovery's like much quicker that way.
All right, what's your diet? When you're not sucking weight?
Yeah, right now we got the macros around 2,600 calories a day. My girl thankfully takes care of all that. She's the best. A lot of carbs, man. They got me at, I think, 304 grams of carbs, which is pretty tough to get through with just food itself. They've got a pretty nice drink called Vitargo. It's super helpful, especially post all my hard practices. When I usually have one practice that's super intense. Today's two, but usually one's super intense.
What, one or a week you're talking about, or
no, one a day.
One, okay,
yeah.
I have one hard practice a year.
Yeah, and that is super helpful. That like brings you back to life. Like you'll be dead, and like it'll get you back going. And it's just carbs. Proteins like at 148, I think. Fats are at 90.
Okay.
We'll break down just the macros.
Okay.
But what's your recovery? What do you do for recovery?
So I go to a place called Rejuvenate, and they've got, the good modalities of cold plunge, sauna, Normatec compression, red light. And I go to them about 2 to 3 times a week.
Yeah.
In between my practices, I just kind of chill over there and hang out there and use all those bad boys.
How long do you hang out in the cold plunge for?
Brother, I used to be so ego about it. There was one time where I did it for 15 minutes and then I was freezing for the next 5 days. Like I couldn't stop shivering. It was the dumbest thing I've ever done. Nowadays, man, I think those early, I spent like a good year to 2 years of being like super like I thought I was the next Wim Hof. Like I was like, I'm in this. I do it a lot less nowadays. In camp, I do it and it feels good, but I think it also just the mental, like this sucks is a good win. So 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Yeah, 1 to 3 minutes is all.
Yeah, I just stick with the standard.
How about sleep? What's your sleep schedule?
Sleeping a lot earlier, man. Before I used to be such a night owl, and before in my early 20s, and even as a kid, it was like, oh man, this is where I'm creative. This is where I find the flow. And there's aspects and there's times where I go back to those, especially in camp, where I do just want. There's something about an empty gym and your own music and your own energy and your own vibe, and there is a creative zone that I really love and that I really find beneficial. But man, I'm getting older and I'm feeling it. So I like being in bed. I like being asleep by 9:30. Wake up around. It depends on the day. Sometimes I'll be asleep till 8 p.m. a good chunk. Other times, like I'll wake up, don't need as much sleep around 7.
Yeah.
So you're getting over 10 hours a night?
Yes, especially on the grindy days for sure. But it's tough. Like today is so good. Today is so good in terms of it being really difficult. Sometimes I have an issue of like I'm still twitching, I'm still reacting. So I gotta focus more on that aspect. Any recommendations on like sleep protocol?
I think you're doing the right thing. Getting to bed at the same time every night is the most important thing. Obviously, no alcohol. Alcohol like just freaking destroys your sleep. I've been using a MFE bed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And you generally need like 10, 15 minutes on that. And there's different wavelengths. It says, okay, this is for sleep. This is for... I personally think I find the most...
Did you get the one I had?
I got the higher dose.
Or the higher dose, yeah.
Okay, I can send you all this stuff.
Yeah, please do.
But I got the higher dose, and the sleep one didn't really make a difference. But I noticed when I'm setting it at the higher, whatever the rating is, I have no idea. Like science-wise, I couldn't find anything behind it.
So what it is? So like what he has... You know, you could either go in a sauna to...
Which you're doing already.
Yeah, like sit in there. Or these mats, like I have the mat and I'll go... I'll lay on it. But like I'll usually pass out after 15, 20 minutes of being on it. So it's red light, near and far infrared. So it gets your growth hormone release and everything. And then the PMF kind of helps with recovery.
Okay, you're doing this right as you go to bed? Usually knock out, right?
I do it. Sometimes I'll wake up and go and do stuff when I wake up.
I personally like to do it.
But it gets me into a deep sleep like right away.
Really?
Like I'm on it. And
what's going on? What is it doing?
So it's the red light. So you're releasing your growth hormone. Okay. It's just relaxing your entire body. Yeah.
I personally think there's not enough research behind it to be like, okay, this is what it's doing. It's probably with your cycle of growth hormone release. Because what are there's 2 optimum times your body's releasing growth hormone. So you want to maximize how much growth hormone your body's releasing. Obviously, you get tested. You can't be injecting growth hormone or peptides.
But these are the natural ways that you guys are manipulating that. Okay.
Yeah. So, and is it?
Like sauna, the way it works is it's your growth hormone release and melatonin release. So that's.
But also, you get an extra release because you're getting more deep sleep when you're doing it, because that's like the biggest time during the day. You get your growth hormone release, right? Yeah. Let me know if you know this stuff better than I do.
So you're going to get your 2 releases. One's going to be like as you fall asleep, and the other one's going to be like early in the morning at like 5 a.m. That's why if you're going to do growth hormone or growth hormone release and peptides, you're supposed to do it either like right before sleep or right after you wake up, because those are times you're going to get the releases. So those are the times you're going to want to increase it.
And then another recovery place I also utilize is a place called Eminent Wellness. And they have, what I really love about them, they've got a lot of modalities, but the hyperbaric chamber. So that's something that I haven't utilized too much or too consistently. I should say I've used it through varying amounts throughout the years. But yeah, I've been utilizing the hyperbaric chamber a lot lately.
Yeah, the hyperbaric's going to be great for you, especially like just building that stamina too and endurance. We have one in our clinic for like 4 people.
Is it a lie down chamber or do you walk in?
No, it's giant. Yeah.
Okay, you walk
in. It's up to like 5 to 6 people. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, ours is like 4 people now.
Okay.
And yeah, we do it for like post-surgical recovery and like
as long as you know, when you start going, you want to stack like 10 to 20. After that, you can just, you know, because after that you can do it like, you know, once a week or once every couple of weeks and get benefits. The original, you want to stack it up right at the beginning.
I got you.
Yeah. Post injury, you definitely want to stack it up.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Like if you got something that's hurting or something, I would stack up the hyperbarics. So like it's going multiple times in that week, that first week after injury.
Gotcha.
Because that's kind of like how we're using it, like post-surgical too.
Oh, right on.
Or even if you get hit hard, feeling a little like dizzy or something.
Every pro boxer, every high level athlete swears by it and its longevity, right?
Yeah. So especially for you, like you actually like if you post fight, if you have like concussion or anything, you want to actually be at lower levels, but it improves. Like I had a concussion, I fell and like got knocked out.
Did you really?
And
oh man.
Like yeah, he had to actually close my laceration. Like I just went in there, like you're supposed to do the lower settings and it's only up to like 1.3 to 1.5 atmospheres.
So that's the pressure.
The studies. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of them go up, you know, medical grade goes up to 4, but a lot of the other ones go up to around 2.
Oh, that's interesting.
But you don't want to go,
degree.
you don't want to go like as high as possible with like a concussion or something.
Gotcha. You can ask them to lower levels. It'd be like, okay, I want 1.5. Like, okay. So you're not overdoing it.
Right on.